So lately, I keep seeing people online criticizing compound interest because they seem to believe that investing like this is for people who started earlier or just earn more. I was in this camp as well when I invested and didn't see anything happen in my bank account. And I get it, it's really hard to feel truly confident in your strategy when you just could have spent that money going on a vacation. So in this video, I'm going to show you why everything takes off after you'll have invested your first $100,000, and I'm going to walk you through 4 mindset shifts I try to remember whenever sticking to my goals and my retirement plan gets hard. This video is also the first video in my Doctor Explains series on this YouTube channel, where every Sunday we break down all things personal finance and wealth building. So let's dive in. The first point I want to make is that the first milestone is the hardest. In this example, reaching $100,000 invested, I know that seems like a lot, but bear with me. The idea here is that each time you invest money and you look at your brokerage account, you don't get any feedback on whether your strategy is good or is bad. Is my strategy the right one for me? Am I doing things right? Am I doing things wrong? And this is why this stage messes with your head, right? Because you don't see a lot of progress. And of course, this is aggravated by other aspects as well. I really struggled with the idea that every dollar I invest is a dollar sacrificed, right? I could have bought something else with a dollar. And you start thinking about the things you sacrifice along the journey, like vacations, like clothes, like nice dinners. And you feel that cost constantly, every day. This is while you look in your brokerage account and you don't see any progress. It's a really bad feeling. On top of that, life keeps testing you. There is always an unexpected bill waiting for you. Maybe your car breaks down. Maybe you have a new dentist appointment you didn't expect. The catch here is you want to teach yourself how to be resourceful in these kind of situations. Whatever you do, don't dip into the savings you already invested, right? Just leave it to grow and find another way to fund those unexpected bills. And all of this is made worse by the social media environment. You see people who are posting that they are living their best life while you're just sitting there and making all this kind of wise financial decisions, and you get this feeling of missing out. But I just want to say that the mindset shift here is that you have to think about the pain being front-loaded, right? You suffer a little bit in the beginning, and at the end, it's gonna get better. And slow progress means that actually the system is working. Like every time that you are feeling pain, I want you to just ground yourself, be calm, and remember that this is how it's supposed to feel. The second thing I want to talk about is the fact that you already know this, but the more you invest, the more you can earn. But I don't want you to get discouraged when you hear big numbers, right? Like I talked in the last point, $100K. I know that sounds a lot, right? But the math actually works on a relative scale. So no matter what amount you invest, compounding interest works the same. If you invest $1,000 a week or you invest $10 a week, it's the same thing, right? But what I really get annoyed at nowadays is that every finance YouTuber out there talks about an 8% return on investment, the minimum. I've seen 15% a year, and that's just not the case anymore. Nobody subtracts taxes, and past performance definitely doesn't guarantee future returns. I want to be a little bit more conservative, and let's ground ourselves a little bit more in the real world. We are going to be using from now on a 6% return on investment. And if reality beats it, I don't mind it. But coming back here to the main point, even if it's 6%, even if it's 8%, the compounding still takes effect. I don't want you to bother yourself with these details. You cannot really control how good the market will perform, but you can control what you put in. And that's the mindset shift I want you to have. Don't bother with what you can't control, like the market, and actually pour everything you've got into what you can control. For example, how much money you can invest. And this flows extremely well into my third biggest point I want to make, gamifying investing. This is probably the most important thing I did to trick my monkey brain into liking investing. I set up goals and I set up rewards for myself. So let me show you a really cool math trick I use to set these milestones for myself. Let's say that I invest $100 a week at 6% return. In the beginning of my investment journey, it would take almost 2 years for me to reach $10,000 invested. But here is the trick we use to see how compounding actually works. I would track how much it would take me to get to the next 10K and the next 10K. And for each milestone, the time it would take would shorten. So by the time I got to $100K invested, it would take me almost 11 months to get the next 10K in the bank. So this is the trick I would use to make this game a little bit more fun for me. You know, I've been waiting for the next milestone for a while now, and I'm really hyped to get to it. And of course, I also make sure that I get a reward when I get there, right? Do whatever works for you. So here is a important caveat I want to make. If you are right now investing into an ETF, for example, each week you are dollar cost averaging into it, just make sure if you are missing a week or a month, the next one you are putting that money back into it, right? Just don't let yourself owe your ETF, if that makes sense. And prepare yourself, because this milestone will come faster and faster every time. Get your rewards in order. And another thing, if getting your money in order is your main priority this year, I'm releasing my completely free newsletter this Sunday, teaching you everything you need to know from saving more to investing in even more detail than I go in these videos right here. Like I said, it is completely free. I won't spam you, I promise, and you can sign up using the link below. Back to the video. The last point I want to make is probably the most important one here, because this is the goal that most of the people have when they start investing. Can you guess which one it is? It's when the money you invested invests more than yourself. So let me show you how the math works on this one. Let's take that 6% return we talked about and apply it to a pot of $100,000 invested into an ETF. At this rate, that pot invests roughly $6,000 a year, while you invest $5,200 a year. That's already $800 more. And you know, I find that the most funny part about this situation is that people that reach this milestone actually don't stop investing. It's more like a game for them, right? It's what this milestone represents. It represents that you have hustled and you have sacrificed a lot to reach this milestone, this 100K already invested in your account, and now your money just takes care of you. And I think that's beautiful, honestly, a little bit poetic, right? So we have spent all this video talking about how compounding takes effect later down the road. But if you liked this, check out my other videos where I give you a lot of tips and tricks regarding reaching that $100,000. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later.